Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I had already made this video the other night and I was going to upload it yesterday, but I did the trifold video instead. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this one since it's already completed today. The only thing I changed is the intro, but it is another Chilli video. I know. More Chilli, but he just makes it too easy. The more videos he puts out, the more lies he tells, the more misinformation he says. And yeah, I feel compelled to correct him and give the correct information and tell the truth because he seems to have a very serious problem with not being able to be honest and tell the truth about anything. For him, I guess, as long as he lies and makes things up in his head, the worse it sounds and the more it looks like he's gonna change something. We all know he's not gonna change anything. So I really want to get this out, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.
YouTube. What's going on, YouTubies? I'm YouTubing right now, I guess you would say. I can't really see very well right now, so I'm just going to check in here for a few minutes, but I wanted to talk about something that has been pressing on my mind for so long. Good to see everybody. I'm sorry I haven't been live a lot lately. As you guys know, I told you I was going to be extraordinarily busy starting this next thing, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So, let me see if I can... Oh, how's everybody doing today? What's going on, huh? What's going on? Good to see everybody. What is going on? Rocco, good to see you. Golden State fan, how are you, buddy? How is everybody doing today? So I'm in the studio here, and as you guys can see, I painted this entire place black. There's not a lot of light in here right now because I'm not sure if I told you guys this or not, but all my lighting was stolen last week. I don't think I've made that announcement, but that did happen, and it was real. So I had to replace the lights, and this light I have right here is actually a little bit broken. Good to see everybody. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? Oh. So I wanted to talk a little bit. There we go. There we go. And this is a new stand. So everything I have here is. What is going on, Chevy? How are you guys? How is everybody? So Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs is in the room. Jeff hates pigs. What's up, Jeff hates pigs? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're back. Coke Dog is in the house. Let me make sure everything's okay. Hold on. Helps things out a little bit. I hope that helps things out a little bit. Is that a little bit better? Can you guys hear me a little bit better now? So, all right. So I'm going to get right into this because we only have so many minutes until Wapner. Can I get an...
I don't know. For someone who really hates dungeons, why does he film in a place that looks exactly and sounds exactly like a dungeon? I just don't get it. And somebody stole his lights. How convenient. Someone steals his van. Now somebody stole all his lights. Not even going to go there. I don't know if anybody else has caught this, but every time Jeff Hates Pigs joins his live chat, why does it sound like Chilli's like literally having an orgasm? Like he gets so excited over Jeff Hates Pigs that it literally sounds like he got a little too excited that Jeff Hates Pigs has joined his live stream. It just, I don't know. And he's already starting, like, at least he finally cleaned his glasses. He finally cleaned his glasses. If you didn't notice, when you look at him when he's usually live streaming, his glasses are all, like, dirty. Like, they're just gross. I don't know how he even sees out of them, but they're always dirty. That's the first time I think I've seen him even clean his glasses.
In the comment section real quick, and then everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button if you would. Everybody hit the like button if you would, please. I'd appreciate that. And then I'm gonna turn off the comments here for a little while. Delete Laws Clips. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see Delete Laws Clips. There you go. That way you can't get timed out. I appreciate all the hard work Delete Laws Clips is doing. Delete Laws Clips is doing a good job. Delete Laws Clips, now you can drop some links in there if you want to. Good job, dude. Okay, so how's the sound? Is the sound okay? Give me a 5x5 if you guys can hear the sound okay. Let me know, and then I'm gonna just start to kind of talk out loud here for a little while. And we are 18 minutes until Wapner. 18 minutes until Wapner. So, you know, as you guys know, I started off OTVO. OTVO. I'm going to turn the sound. There we go. Now I can just sit here and talk with you guys out loud a little bit here. So, as you guys know, in October of 2021, I left Los Angeles with the intention of traveling the country and helping people who have become victims of police brutality. And what we're seeing over the past year, from October of 2021 until today, which is December of 2022, I've been on the road traveling, interviewing family, people who are victims of police brutality, and I've been doing this now for over a year. And so, you know, I got to sift through my things sometimes to find audits, because I do so many audits that I don't even post them all. Sometimes they're just not that entertaining, but I do understand that it's still a bit of a business. So I found an audit that I did a short time ago, and check it. Still got the blue sweatshirt. So
I don't know about anybody else, but I really seriously doubt that Delete Laws Clips is somebody else. I really think it's Chilli. I think he's pretending like it's somebody else. I mean, Chilli has not once cried or screamed or threw a fit, threatened to sue whoever's behind that channel, because they use his content, even if it's just clips. But then again, they use the content to make him seem like he's this nice, wonderful, sweet guy who cares. And we all know none of that is true. So either it is Chilli or it's somebody Chilli knows and he's behind the whole channel anyways. This whole Wapner thing is so annoying. It's like things that come out of his mouth that he thinks make him sound like he's cool, make him sound more stupid than he already is. Like that whole Wapner thing. His intention supposedly was to drive around the country and help people. No, we know that his intention was to go around the country and grift and fraud people. That's exactly what he did when he went to Ironton, Ohio, which basically was the only place he went and interviewed anybody. And while he was there, he interviewed a handful of actual criminals who were just pissed off at the police because they got caught doing their crimes. Just like Chilli hates the police because he got caught with his crimes and was made accountable for his actions. Same with Anselmo. He does this because he hates the police for catching him in his crimes and making him accountable and having to, face the consequences. That's why Chilli doesn't like police. It has nothing to do with any of this other things. It has nothing to do with overturning Terry versus Ohio. It's all because the whole fact they don't like that they got caught with their crimes. And instead of taking accountability and responsibility for their own shit, they'd rather just blame the police and say all the police are bad, and then sit here on videos and hype people up to hate police as much as they do, which is dangerous. It is horribly dangerous, because that's how cops are going to start getting hurt more and more and more, because of people like Chilli who lie and manipulate people and make it worse on the police, making these people think that they're worse than what they are. I'll be the first to admit it. There are bad cops, but there are more good cops than there are bad cops, just like there's bad people. But there's more good people in this world, I want to think, than there are bad. You're never going to get a group and then be completely 100% good. You're always going to have some bad in there. Chilli, you never audit. You're not an auditor. All you do is you drive around until you see a cop, you stop so you can harass them. That's all it is. You're not an auditor. Like you said in one of your videos before you got suspended for a week, that you are the #1 auditor on YouTube. No, you're not. You've never been an auditor. You'll never be an auditor. You're just a man-child pissed off at the police, so you go around and harass them.
Time. They say, Do you feel like it's getting worse? Do you feel like things are getting worse? Do you feel like, as you've been traveling the country and you've gone from Maine to Florida to California to Oregon, actually I haven't gone up to the Northwest yet, but so do I feel like things are getting worse, and why are things getting worse? And so that's the paradigm that we're living in. We have two diametrically opposed ideas, and later tonight I'm actually going to lay out Constitutional Law Scholar. Even though I'm not going to be staying in this particular studio, I'm still going to lay out Constitutional Law Scholar later tonight and give you guys a little taste of what I mean when I say Constitutional Law Scholar. So there's two diametrically opposed ideas here. And one of the ideas is law enforcers, and the other idea is rights protectors. And these two ideas, they cannot exist together in the same plane. They cannot exist together in the same space. If you put law enforcers and rights protectors in the same room, there would be an explosion because they don't work together. Bird flu in 2020, as soon as one person has the authority and the power is vested in them to cry out that you have fudged, you have smeared, you have broken the line, you've broken the law, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who back that person up and say, hey, he's right, this law enforcer over here, over the line, Smokey, mark is 0. Right? That's the Big Lebowski. And so if we have that in our country, how many people go to a 4-way stop sign at 2 o'clock in the morning? You can see that there's no cars coming from headlights. Look left, look right, and then you drive across the line. There it is. There's someone hiding there waiting to get you, and there's a large group of people that say, well, this is the law. This is what the law says. And so for that reason, the law enforcer is needed to get you for driving through that stop sign at 2 o'clock in the morning when nobody was around. As long as we continue to perpetuate the concept of law enforcers, it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse, and it's not going to get better. It's going to continue to devolve. It'll just get worse. It'll happen to your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your best friend, your lover. It'll happen to you. It'll happen to your family, because as soon as you have a law enforcer on the scene and then you don't comply, well, then the next phase is you being hurt, you being beaten, you being taken down to the ground, you being stuffed into the ground. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. We just saw that with Dalvin Gatson. Dalvin Gatson was a homeless veteran sleeping in his car, and he was driving DoorDash and driving people around for money, and then he didn't comply with law enforcement, who said that they wanted to give him a DUI for no reason. How many people think there's DUIs going on in our country for no reason, left and right? Put a 1 in the chat if you think if there's DUIs going on in the country for no good reason. How far are we to a Wapner? Let me turn the chat on for 1 second. I can see you guys.
Okay, wait. He said he painted this studio, right? But then he says in this video that he painted it, but he's not staying in that studio. Like, I don't know how much sense that makes to anybody else, but he lies so much we don't even know what he's talking about anymore. Law enforcement rights versus rights protectors. Yeah, it's just Chilli talking shit out of himself again. No point in even touching that one. Do you notice how, though, he only talks about the same thing over and over and over and over? And it's because it's the only thing he has memorized. That also, if you watch his eyes, especially in certain parts, he's literally reading something off of a screen. So a lot of this he doesn't even have memorized. He's either just learning it for the first time, or he's learning it for the 100th time because he can't memorize it. But he's reading something. Mandates for the bird flu in 2020? No, that would have been COVID. Bird flu was not in 2020. That would be COVID. Okay. I found it very interesting when he's talking about stopping at a 4-way stop sign and that police are hiding so that they can pull you over and arrest you and steal your car and auction it and whatever else he talks about. No. If you follow the traffic laws, no matter what time of the day or night it is, if you stop at the stop sign and you look both ways and you continue through it, even if there's no traffic, you're not getting pulled over. If you are missing brake lights or your lights aren't turned on at all, or you're swerving, or something that makes you suspicious, which would be lights out, swerving, not stopping at the stop sign, rolling through the stop sign, yeah, you're going to get pulled over. And that's how it works. That's why you follow traffic laws, so that you don't get pulled over. Cops never said that they pulled the guy over because they wanted to give him a DUI. They pulled him over because he had no license plate. I'm not going into this again. But they didn't pull him over for that. When they asked him to get out of the car, they were going to investigate for a possible DUI. They even said they suspect him of a DUI, but they were going to investigate it. Chilli lying again to make something fit his narrative. It's so typical of him.
I can see you guys. There you are, Joe Cool. What's going on, brother? I can see you. How you doing? So we are 11 minutes till Wapner. We are 11 minutes till Wapner. So let me ask you a question. Put a 1 in the chat right now. Thank you. I appreciate that. So as long as we continue to hold this concept that we can have law enforcers in our country, you're not going to be free. It's not going to get you right now. Oh, you're going to get away with this because they're just taking on the poor white people right now, the poor factory workers, the poor blacks, the poor immigrants. And you know, the number one killed race in America is Latinos. It is not blacks. Latinos, me right here, Latinos are the number one killed race in America by police. And people say, oh, you know, there's 1 million touches a year. We don't want 1 million touches a year or 200 million touches. They call it touches. Law enforcers with citizens who are free, touches. So the law enforcement, when they say touches, remember what that means in the law enforcement capacity. That means that they're touching you to see if maybe you've broken a law so they can take you to a dungeon. And I'm not kidding. I'm not joking at all. Their entire goal is to arrest you, to take your car, to charge you with money, to gain money for the state. They're law enforcers, but you might as well call them revenue collectors. Now, in the polar opposite.
Okay, so this is when I get really annoyed with Chilli, is when he lies. Straight up lies. He knows he's lying. He just made this up in his head. The number one race killed by police in America are not Latinos. Not even close. As you see here, it is whites, then blacks, then Hispanics, then others, being Asians and whatnot. He thinks of something in his head, and he lets it come out like word vomit, and then claims it's a fact. Chilli doesn't work on facts. Chilli works on opinions and feelings, and that's it. And that proves it right there. As a matter of fact, it looks like Hispanics are getting killed by police less and less. Now, this cutoff for 2022, the last report was done, I believe, late October. However, if I go back and look in January or February, I guarantee you Hispanics are not going to be over whites or blacks. It's still going to be low. So it makes my blood boil when I hear him lie like this. Because it's an easy thing to look up. It's very easy. Why does no one in his chat or on his live stream bother looking up the facts? They all believe he just tells the truth. And no, law enforcement or police officers or whatever the hell you want to call them, their goal is not to sit out there and just arrest everybody and then steal your car, auction it off, and whatever. No. Their goal is to make sure everybody is safe on the road. And that's about it. If they're for traffic, if they're out there doing patrol for, traffic violations and stuff. There are times, and I'm grateful whenever a cop pulled me over because I had a brake light out or my license plate light was out. I was always grateful when they did, and I thanked them for it. Because I didn't know. We don't normally know that. It's in the back of the car. And unless every time you go somewhere and daytime or nighttime, I don't think everybody checks their lights every single time before they get in the car and go. So for a cop to pull you over and make you aware of this, I'm thankful for it because now I know I have to go get it fixed. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you it's out and they're going to let you go. That 1% is when, let's say, you're holding a joint in your hand and you're in a state that doesn't have it legalized, or you have an open container like vodka or beer sitting there in your cup holder, or an AK-47 sitting on the passenger seat. I mean, these are things they look for when they do pull you over, even for small little things like a no brake light, you know, or they run your license plate when they pull you over and they know that you have a warrant. You know, that's great. They did that. You should be made accountable for any actions you've created, and you have a warrant. They don't go out every day on patrol with the goal of arresting. There may be a few that do. I know. I wish that those few were on the road when Chilli was, because those are the kind of cops that'll pull you over just because they don't like the way you look, and they'll want to arrest you for being stupid or looking a certain way. Oh my goodness, if only there was a cop like that every time Chilli got in the car, because it would be a gold mine kind of win for any police officer to just randomly pull Chilli over and see him with 2 phones in his hand, reading comments, reading emails, live streaming, high off his butt while he's driving, not paying attention to the road. I mean, yeah. Chilli is the type of person that needs to be taken off of the road. He shouldn't even be allowed to drive because of the way he drives. I'm telling you, one day we're going to witness him on a live stream and he's going to have an accident, probably kill people in the other cars or himself. But he doesn't care. That's the problem.
Stood on the line before with cops screaming in his face and said, "You can arrest me if you want, but I'm not backing down." And that's where we need to get, where we have to say we don't want law enforcers in our country anymore. That's where you and I have to get. We want rights protectors. It has to be a fundamental shift in philosophy and ideology, that the state will not use us as a piggy bank, that the state will not fine us and fee us and hide on the side of the road to give us fines and fees. The only reason you should see a rights protector instead of a law enforcer is because they are there to make sure that your rights are being upheld and defend it. That's what they swore an oath to the Constitution. They swore an oath to be a peace officer, not to be a law enforcer. And that is the fundamental switch that has to happen in our country. And you, the individual, have to start to go to your city council meetings, because whether we like it or not, there is a hierarchy. Now, you can be for anarchism, you can be for volunteerism, but that's not where we're living right now. We're living in a tyrannical police state, death state, living in a technocracy that's being ran by the highest elitist in the Silicon Valley. And those Silicon Valley representatives are being manicured, being edited by politicians who are telling them this person can have a free speech on Twitter.
This is Chilli getting all worked up so that his followers think he cares, when we all know he doesn't care. None of this is because he cares. This is him having a mental breakdown / toddler fit because he can't do what he wants to do. He doesn't like the fact that he has to follow laws. And if you don't follow the laws, you have to face the consequences. He's learned that already on a couple occasions. That's why he doesn't like the police. We've already established that one. We need law enforcement. There's a thing in this country called law and order. Chilli has no understanding of what law and order is. Chilli has no understanding of what a tyrant is. If he truly, really wants to know what it's like to live under a tyrant, he should move to North Korea. He'll be begging to come back to this country. But as it is, he's not happy living here. He doesn't like the United States of America one bit. He proves that in every video when he's whining and complaining about everything. We're not free. We're not the brave. You know what, Chilli? You can take that "we're not the brave" and shove it where the sun don't shine. Because just because you're not brave, we have a lot of brave people in this country who have fought for this country, who have fought for our freedom, who have fought for the Constitution, and who have fought so that you could run that big mouth of yours and lie and manipulate other people into believing your bullshit. They are brave. You are not. So if you're that unhappy in this country, then please don't let that big, beautiful door of the United States of America hit you in the ass on your way out.
I don't respond to that very well. As a matter of fact, as soon as I hear cops are cracking down, I give a double bird and I say, I don't give a damn what you think you're doing. You're not cracking down on me. I'm not listening to you. You're a not even a garbage man. Garbage men work really hard. As long as we continue to be threatened, Jeff hates pigs. What's going on, brother? I missed you, man. I don't know what happened to you. Good to see you, man. So cops are cracking down and threatening us hasn't worked. And people will say, you know, you're in the home of the land of the free, home of the brave, right? Land of the free, home of the brave. Are you, though? You're more likely to be arrested here in America than you are in China. You're more likely to be arrested here in America than you are in Iran. You're more likely to be arrested here in America than you are India. And those countries have billions of people, except for Iran doesn't have billions. But China and India both have billions of people and not as many people in prison as us. How astounding is that? How absolutely incredible is that? That we have more people in prison, just sheer numbers, with our 314 million people in the United States of America versus Iran and China that both have billions of people. I'm sorry, China and India, they both have billions of people, and neither one of them have as many people in prison as we do. And China has locked up 1 million Muslims just for being Muslim, and we still have more people in prison here. I mean, 1 minute to Wapner. We are 1 minute to Wapner. I'll be back on later tonight on this wall. I'm going to teach Constitutional Law Scholar. I'm going to give the first lesson tonight. I'm going to give the first lesson tonight on Constitutional Law Scholar. So let me close this right here and make sure that let's go over and watch this live. You know, I have a ton of videos on my phone. I mean, I'm talking tons and tons and tons of videos on my phone. I have so many audits on my phone, I can't count them all. I've audited cops for so many years, for so long. I have audits on my phone from 5-10 years ago, when before it was even popular to audit cops. I was filming cops. I didn't want the pressure of having to be in front, and now here we are. Good to see you too, V. Boyer. How are you, Cope Dog? Let me read off a few names here real quick. I got my glasses on just real quick. KT, good to see you. That's so funny. Remember, moderators, remember, we don't talk about people here. We don't give them any light. Don't put their name in the comments. Don't talk about people here. We're moving on. And the week I spent off of YouTube was the best week I ever spent, because I realized we're moving on. We're going forward. We're not stopping. We're not looking back. I'm back on track. I'm back on mission. And I swear to God, I'm not going to stop until we change it. I give you my word. I give you my word as a man, as a human being, as a child of God, as a child of earth, as a child of the universe. I swear to you, I will never, ever stop until we get.
Oh, wait. So, yeah. So now Chilli claims that he's been auditing for 10 years. That auditing videos has been on his phone since 10 years ago. Now he's going to claim he was the first ever police auditor ever. Okay, whatever, Chilli. You weren't. You didn't even start doing this crap until recently, and you're not an auditor. I think I've said that before. You're not an auditor. You're a public nuisance that goes around harassing police officers. You're not an auditor. You weren't the first auditor, and you haven't been auditing since 10 years ago, just like you never studied the Constitution for the last 20 years. You tried to read it back 20 years ago, couldn't understand it, so you just stopped. Now you look up crap on YouTube or Google, you try to memorize it, or you'll read it off your screen to make it look like you learned it 20 years ago. But here's a secret. We can tell by every video you put out that you know nothing about what you're talking about, especially with the Constitution, with all the lies that come out of your mouth, the misinformation, the misunderstanding of what certain things are. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. And wow, okay, and there he is, not wanting people to speak on his live stream chat, because he doesn't really believe in the First Amendment, and that proves it right there. Oh wait, I should go find a rights protector. I need a rights protector. Every one of us needs a rights protector when we go into his live stream now, so that we can make sure our rights are protected by a tyrant like Chilli, who won't let us use our First Amendment on his live stream chat. Yeah, he's the one that said we needed rights protectors, not law enforcement. You know, just saying. And yeah, we all know you didn't enjoy your week of suspension from YouTube. You spent that week on Twitter begging YouTube to let you have your channel back. You didn't enjoy it. You didn't sit back and enjoy the peaceful time off. No, you made more videos, threw them up on Rumble or on Instagram, whining and complaining, bitching and moaning like normal, and on Twitter begging YouTube to let you back on. I don't know who you think you're fooling, but I can tell you one thing. There's way more people that can think for themselves and see through your crap than there are people that believe you. And that's the honest truth. So anyways, I got a little heated in this one. I apologize. I think what really set me off was that whole big lie where he claimed that the number one race being killed by police are Hispanics. It's an easy thing to look up on Google and find out that he's lying about it. I just hate that he thinks of something, thinks it's a fact, throws it out there, and then claims because he already spoke it, it's supposed to be a fact, and it's not. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Be safe. Love you.